Welcome back to MACTFORDEDGE. And folks, I have a video on an update of my Resonator delete, and more or less an apology on this aspect. I have discovered a weakness to the rubber caps that I've been using, so I'm going to upgrade it, and I want you all to know and watch what I'm doing. MACT back here now with a update on the Resonator caps. I got the hose clamps off of them already, but what I was running across was a possibility of a leak, air leak for the intake, and the MAF sensor is here, so any leak would allow the MAF sensor not to receive a full airflow, which would cause a problem. And I'm trying to avoid the problem, so what I'm doing is I'm making sure I don't have any leaks. I went out and bought some caps, and I got some hard plastic caps that will fit in here. One's 1.5 inches and the other one's 1 inch. They fit right in here, and of course I will get rid of these and put the hard plastic pipe caps, PVC caps in here. But what was happening is I was tightening it up, and you can see where it was crunching in, and by doing that you allow a space, and that space can actually cause air leakage. So these are not strong enough here to support these caps pinching in on them when these clamps are tightened up on it. So I had to replace it. I just don't want the air leak and the possibility of causing problems. So again, I apologize for this, and we'll go ahead and get this done. Now what I've done is I went out and I bought the plastic PVC caps, and I also bought some of this Rust-Oleum Universal hammered black spray paint to paint the caps with. And I'll show you a photograph of them here, or a video of them real quick once I get done with this. But this is pretty neat stuff. It's like a black glossy textured look. I think it'll fit into the plastic and make it look a little more presentable than that. So that's why I chose it rather than just a straight black or a primer or something like that. Just wanted to make it sort of fit a little better and give it a texture that goes into with that in that case. But I'll go ahead and show you what these caps look like after they're painted. You can see the texture on the top of the cap. Granted, you can still see the name and everything. I could have ground that off, but what the heck. They're just caps and they're under the hood. But they do give it, this paint does give like a bubbled texture to it. Sort of like a rough plastic. And of course, I think it adds a little character to the caps. But once this paint does dry, I'll go ahead and get these caps installed. Again, this is a 1-inch cap. And this, of course, is the 1.5 inch cap, or 2 inch, I forget what it is, that I put in there. So I'll look the paperwork up here real quick to make sure I got it. Okay, this is an 1.5 inch cap, and this, of course, is a 1-inch cap. That's the inside diameter of whatever pipe it's going to cover. But I went ahead and got those, and we'll go ahead and get them installed once it does dry up. Nothing like an opportune time while we're waiting literally for paint to dry for me to go over a couple things that I have in my toolbox. And something I recently bought, because I don't have, is a set of Rhino Ramps. Okay, these ramps, I'm going to say, you're going to come in handy for those times when I don't feel like driving to the garage and I just want to crawl under the car real quick to check something, change the oil maybe at home rather than driving to the garage, other things like that. So definitely got some good build here. Gone are the days of old when we had the heavy metal ramps. These things are light and strong, and you can get them for, I don't know, gosh, what do people pay for them? I paid about $45. I think I've seen them as low as in the 20s. But, you know, it depends where you shop around and where you go. I know there's a lot of sales and discounts and everything else, but if you get a set for about 30 to 50 bucks, you're in the ballpark area of it. I'll put a link down below to the Amazon where I bought mine. And, of course, it never hurts to have a good set of ramps. Now, at the end of the video, I'll drive the car up on it to show you all how they work. But we're going to concentrate on this Resonator redo, as I'm calling it. But I just wanted to review this. Now, another thing that I went out and bought for those home oil changes was this 16 quart oil pan. Okay, I like it because you can undo the cap here and it allows the oil to flow into it, and then when you're done you just clean it up, and then of course you shut the cap on here, and then it has a little vent hose right here, a vent on it. And then the beauty about it is, folks, what do you do with your oil? Okay, this will hold 2 oil changes easily, you know, because it's a 16 quart container. So Ford Edge 6 and 6, well 5.5, but 6 and 6, you know, 12 quarts, got plenty of room, right? Well, the beauty about this is, folks, you don't want to dump the oil into the ditch, into your trash can. You want to dispose of it properly. So you can go to your nearest auto parts store. A lot of them will say, okay, bring us the oil. You can dump it out at our place free of charge. That's a good thing, folks. So what does this do? It has a handle. It allows you to carry it, transport it to the auto parts store or your recycling facility, and then dump it out, and then you can reuse it again. So really good concept here for recycle, reuse, and I do recommend it for your oil changes in the future. So again, I think this thing was like 12 bucks. I'll put a link to the description on this too, but I think it's well worth the effort, folks, for those of you who do your DIY oil changes at home. And it's a lot less mess trying to dump it back into the quart containers and everything else. Everything's confined to this, so that's a good thing. Now, folks, as you can see, got the caps right here. Got that, fits right in there here. This one, like I said, is a little bit harder. You have to take and, of course, turn it and work it in here just a little bit. Got the paint nice and fairly dry here. It fits in there nice and tight. So all you have to do then, of course, is grab your hose clamp and then tighten her down. It's real simple. If I can get it on there straight. There we go. Get it on there straight. There we go. Got it nice and tight. It's not going anywhere. Then we get the other one on here. Get it situated. And again, we have it on there. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to leak or anything like that. So reuse the hose clamps from these old caps that I had here. And of course, now I got a good airtight seal on here, so I don't have to worry about leakage or anything like that. So that is as simple as it gets. Well, folks, that's it. Got the caps replaced. Again, I was worried about some leakage. I mean, if you do use these caps and you want to verify it, you get some brake clean, have the engine running, spray it around that intake a little bit where those resonator caps are. And if you have an engine slow down or something like that, then you really know you got an air leak. And you might want to go out and buy these caps. I bought them at Lowe's, mostly because I get a military discount because I'm retired military. So Not that they cost much, but I bought paint and a few other things for the house, so it all adds up. But again, I think the caps look pretty good, and of course with this textured paint, it makes them look just a little bit more fancy than just throwing on some black spray paint. So you know, I use it for other projects maybe. But that's it, folks. This is Mac T, and of course stand by for the ramp video that's immediately following. All right, let's see how these ramps are going to work out. Hopefully pretty self-explanatory. Let's get them set up straight. Of course, one thing I will say that I don't have is I do not have wheel chocks for the back wheels. You got to get those. I'm going to go by Harbor Freight or get those. But I'm just showing you how the ramps work, and of course I'm driving up on them just to display that. All right, it helps if you have your car keys handy. But we'll go ahead and we'll pull these ramps up. Turn my radio off. It always helps to have somebody guide you when you're doing this, but just take and pay attention to what you're doing. And then it stops right there. Tells you that you got it parked right. Set your emergency brake. Got the emergency brake set. And of course, you have your car up on the ramps. It's that simple, folks. As you can see, they work pretty good. You know, pulled right up on here, no problems, didn't slide, didn't do anything. And you have these big stops right here to tell you when you're at the top. So that's always a good thing there. But again, you chalk the rear tires when you do have it up on a ramp. And then, of course, this is how they work. So let's go ahead and back them off, and we'll go ahead and finish this up. And again, you can see where it does give you plenty of room. Crawl under your edge to go ahead and do work or anything else that you want to do on your forward edge. So you can access everything, get all the parts, and basically make your life a lot easier when you're working on the edge. So ramps look like they're holding up pretty good. No issues. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take and drive off the ramp here. All right, let's go ahead and pull back. Don't forget to release your emergency brake. Put it in reverse. Check behind you. Look for kids, cats, dogs, wives, anything else that's behind you. Then just go ahead and back up slowly. And there you go. That is it. Well, folks, that is it. This is Mac T, and we tested the ramps out, and of course they do work like a champ. But as with all things, I do want you to make sure you go over here to Facebook and join MACTFORDEDGE on Facebook. And also jump over here and hit that subscribe button on this channel and subscribe. That way you get notified of all the videos that I put out, and of course you will be able to watch them as soon as they do. I do want to add one other thing. Guess what? Did you guys listen to that video when I backed up? What was that noise? What was that clicking sound when I put it in reverse? Been getting that out of the axles a lot lately. Think about it. What is going on, and why is it making that clicking noise when I put it in reverse? Don't know. We're going to see what happens, but food for thought. Anyway, this is Mac T, and of course, my feet hit the floor today, and I'm having a great day. And I hope yours hit the floor and you're having a great day today too. So, Mercy Girl, she's going to give you a couple one-liners while you enjoy this music.
Thank you, Mac T. This is a Mercy Girl production. Hope you like this